Hello and welcome to another fly fishing session with your host Scott. Today we're going to be fly fishing for carp. It's midwinter, it's currently 1 degree Celsius, it's very cold. Now you might think I'm absolutely insane doing that, but I'm pretty confident that I'll at least get a few rises, especially as it warms up later today. We're currently at a lake called Haughton Grange, and it's basically a farm pond stocked with carp up to 30 pounds and various other coarse fish as well. And it's in Llandrinio, Powys, Wales. So wish me good luck. We're going to be using dog biscuit imitations, bloodworms and egg flies to see what we can pick up. Okay guys, so this is Haughton Grange. We've got a bit of bait in. It might take a while for them to start feeding, so it's very cold. It's not quite freezing, it's just above freezing. Now from my experience, the carp normally start feeding when it hits 3 degrees or more. We've got to have a temperature of 8 degrees by the afternoon, so I think we'll do okay. I'm currently set up with an Airflow DC2 10 foot 7 to 8 with the Amazon max catch weight forward 8 weight floater. I've got a 12-pound leader of just monofilament. It's been greased up because there's a bit of a tow on this lake and it pulls the leader under, and you need the leader on the surface really. And then we're using one of my special fly patterns, which is, I'll see if I can get it in for you to have a look at. This guy here. This is a dog biscuit imitation made from a core of foam and then some cork sawdust super glue to it with a bit of orange paint on the top. The orange paint is for sighting purposes, it's not as an attractant. It's so that I know, in fact the fish have started feeding already, so that's a good sign. One just come up under that tree. So it lets me know when the fly is in the fish's mouth and the optimal time to strike. So hopefully we will get a few today. I'm here all on my own, which is not unusual this time of year at this place, which is good for filming. Hopefully you're enjoying the better picture quality and the better audio quality above all. The audio is terrible on the old cameras. So there we go. So another important feature of fly fishing for carp is you need to gauge the wind direction, especially if you want to fish at range. If you want to fish close in, it's not really that much of a problem if you're stalking the fish, for example, but the wind's coming from my left at the moment as I face the direction I'm facing in, and it's blowing all the bait into this corner. And eventually this is where the swim will be, I reckon, assuming the wind doesn't change. It is possible, in my experience, to fly fish for carp without bait. So for you purists out there that don't like throwing bait in for them, it is possible. There's a few fly patterns out there that work. I'll go over those now. So in this box we've got my carp fly patterns. The patterns that work the best are these mop flies here and these eggs, but you can also do well on the maggots and the worm and the okie dokies without any bait in the water. I've got beetle patterns as well. These are more for rudd and roach, and then these are imitative bait patterns, so if you're using bait, these are the ones to use here. So there we go. So hopefully the wind won't change and spread my bait all over the lake like it did last time I was here. It made it very difficult for me, but we'll see how we get on. fact the wind has changed, that might make it difficult. It has a habit of swirling around here. But it's right, we've got a backup plan. If the wind does change as it's forecast to come from the east, I'll be over there. And there's Norman. Say hello, Norman. Your money's in the box. You snuck up on me there. That's the fishery boss. Okay, welcome back, folks. I've spotted 2 fish come up, so I think he's starting to warm up in terms of feeding. Both of them have just been in front of that tree there. See if we can get a bit closer. There we go. I've got to be careful because I've been up that tree twice already. Full disclosure. I mean, this lake is primarily a coarse fishing lake, so if you can find somewhere to cast the fly, you're doing well. Trees behind, trees in front. It's definitely fishing better than the last time I was here. It took over an hour for them to start feeding. Most people have packed up and gone. And by that time, my bait was literally spread out all over the lake. There was very little wind. So it was a weird day, that was. I managed to catch 4 altogether. And they were all over £5. The biggest was 12. So yeah, it was a good day in the end. But it was hard work. I think I fished every peg on the lake just to keep up with them. Now there has been times me and Ken have come down here to do this, and we've actually outfished the coarse fishermen. Completely outfished them. Each of us, not just between us. Each of us have outfished them. It is a good tactic for carp, even in the winter time. Now the bait I'm using as a loose feed is made by a company called Harrington's. It's actually a dog kibble, which is a dry dog food, and it's turkey flavour. And they just seem to drive the carp mad. They absolutely love them all through the year, even in the summertime. If you do intend to do this sort of thing, I'd probably seek permission off the fishery boss first. Not all fisheries will let you do this. Especially floating baits. There's the fish. He's still there, I think. It's not the finest of bait presentations, this fly, but it does work. That's 3 fish that have started feeding. As they start to wake up, it'll get busy down this corner, I think. another fish moving under that tree. And down this corner here. And the key's little and often. You want no more than half a dozen biscuits. There's 5 there, that'll do. And what seems to be happening is they'll go into that corner and then they'll go around and under the tree. Because of the tow. There's an overflow over there which I filmed earlier. A lot of the bait's going to end up going down though. We've had a lot of rain, sleet, snow, we've had all sorts in the last few days. I've been dying to get out to use this new camera. I haven't been able to. This is the only nice day we've had really, and this isn't very nice. So I've got plans this season to film sessions at pretty much every fishery I'll go to during the spring, summer for trout. I'll be filming the river as well. I love filming the fishing on the river. You guys seem to have enjoyed watching that as well. And I've just had a fish come up to the fly and refuse it. Interesting. Oh, he's come up again. Go on, take it. You know you want to be a star. Oh, come on, you're going to be in Hollywood. Grab that opportunity with both lips. And what you'll find in the winter, I think that's what's happened there. They'll come up for it, and then as soon as they've got their eyes off it, they're using their barbules to sense where things are and the smell. Because the bait's not giving off any smell, they completely lose their lock on it and they'll actually swim straight past it in some cases. And I think that's what's happened. He's gone for it and missed. It's just there. If it really kicks off down this corner and I don't spook them, I want to see if I can get a bit closer for you guys. I'm about, I don't know, 10 yards away from them at the moment. So if it starts to pick up, I'll see if I can get a bit closer to them and just do a bit of bow and arrow casting. Hopefully I won't spook them too much. I'm just trying to get the confidence up. We've had 5 or 6 rises now. I've been fishing since about, I'd say it's probably about 8:30. It's now 9:30. I have no doubt if it warms up more than this, they will start feeding properly. The fish just come up to my left here. Here's one. Let's see if we can tempt that one. Yeah, they're starting to feed properly now. Got him. Oh, that's a good start. That's not a bad fish as well. Now, just for the record, it's February 4th 2026 and it's not very warm at all, and I've just caught a fish off the top. That is a big mirror carp. For the fly anyway. You professionals with your 2.5 pound test curve rods would put this back as a tiddler, but I'm happy. The net I'm using is a Witchwood Rover that I have mounted on a loop on the back of my waistcoat, and it just flicks out perfect. It's a really, really good net for that. I'm going to give him, I nearly went in with him, I'm going to give him about 7 or 8 pound, maybe bigger. I might be underestimating it a bit, but yeah, that's a good fish. That's a good fish for February. Absolutely stunning, really nice. Fully scaled mirror carp from Haughton Grange. Okay, I think you've had a good look at him now. Let's slip him back. You ready to go? There we go. And that's what we came for. Stunning. Right, now that'll probably spook the swim out for a little while. It's worth sticking some more bait in just to try and keep them there, and we'll see if we can get another one. Yeah, I think that's spooked it out for a bit. We'll have to give it a few minutes, I think, and they'll start again hopefully. Okay, welcome back guys. It's been about half an hour since we last caught that fish, and I've just spotted a fish come up in the swim for dog biscuit, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to switch the camera back on. There's no point filming for half an hour with nothing going on. So while we're waiting for it to warm up a bit, I thought I'd take the opportunity to thank everybody who subscribed to the channel. It does mean a lot to me. The channel's hit over 500 subscribers. One of my latest videos, the improved black magic, is, I don't know what it is about that pattern, guys. If you want to leave a comment, I definitely encourage you to do so, as to why people absolutely love that video. It's had 1600 views at the last count, so it won't be long before the channel will be at the level I want it to be, and hopefully we'll be getting more content like this as well. The camera gear I've picked up to do this sort of thing is the DJI Osmo 5, and I'm using the DJI mini mic for the better sound quality, which is connected wirelessly to the Osmo 5. I may be able to use it for filming my fly tying videos as well, although the sound on those isn't too bad anyway. So in the pipeline I've got quite a few patterns, but we're going to have to wait until March for some of them, because I've had to move out of the lodge temporarily, where all the fly tying equipment is. But I've got a few videos in the can. I think I've got a cormorant coming up soon, which is a mini lure, or it's basically a buzzer pattern with marabou in the wing. I think there's a buzzer pattern coming called the Grey Boy. I think there's another pattern as well. So we've got plenty to keep us interested while I'm out of the studio, let's say. So it should be pretty good. And then come March through the summer, hopefully you'll be seeing more trout fishing, which I know you guys prefer over carp. I could have gone to a trout fishery today. It's a long drive, the weather's not very good, so this is 10 minutes away from where I am at the moment. Now, in the half an hour before I've started filming again, I haven't really been fishing. I've just put the fly in the side here and I've just been watching the water and getting a bit of B-roll, and I've just spotted a fish come up pretty much where the fly is now. The bait is staying put, which is half the battle. I may get the 7 weight out and fish with a fly on the bottom. I'm thinking the mop fly, that has done well here before, and I'll probably have only a 6 foot leader on that, because it's only about 4 foot deep, this lake, at the deepest point, and I just want to trundle it along the bottom with the wind. I am sort of waiting for the wind to pick up a bit before I start doing that, and I'll probably have a size 14 bloodworm fairly close to the top of the leader, between 3 and 1 foot down probably, because there's quite a lot of smaller fish in here as well, such as rudd, roach, skimmer bream, and there's the odd perch, orf, so that might keep us interested while we're waiting for the carp to get the confidence back. But unfortunately in the winter it is more of a waiting game. You do less fishing and more waiting, unfortunately, but they will come onto the bait eventually. That's about where I want the fly there. I don't know whether you can see it at the moment, but just along that bank there is where all the bait is sitting nicely. So the closer I can get to that bank, the better. In fact, no, it's not. It's my eyes playing tricks on me. I thought there was a fish coming up for the fly then. they give you plenty of warning in the winter. They're all sluggish, the fish, and you know, lethargic. So when they take a bait, it's not a quick in, out and gone. They do come up and sort of, you can see them coming before it happens. You get plenty of warning. In fact, I'd probably say it's a little bit easier in the winter. You get less fish, but the bites are easier to hit. In the summertime, as soon as that fish has took the fly, it realises it's not food and spits it straight out again, which is very different to trout. If you dry fly fishing for trout, they always say to recite "God save the King" and then strike, to make sure it's in. To make sure you get a good hook set. That is a nice big fish over there under that tree. See if I can get to him. That wasn't a bad cast. I think that's the best I can do in the circumstances. I think that fish's mouth was about 2.5 inches wide. Yeah, with this carp fishing, with this particular pattern I'm using, as soon as that orange dot disappears, you strike. That's just the only way. So by the time they've turned and gone down with it, they've spat it out. Now there is a video up on how I make these flies. I'll hopefully stick a link. It should come up above the screen to the top right. If you're watching on mobile or the computer, I've noticed the links don't really come up on the telly. There's a big fish moving just at the back of that branch there. It's difficult to get a fly there because I've got trees behind me. So hopefully I can tempt him in a bit closer. I was thinking about it. I've stripped the line off ready to go for him, but I think I'm going to stay there. I don't know yet, because it's not very good round here, if I'm honest with you. There's a stretch of canal between here and Newtown, I think, or Welshpool. It might go as far as Newtown. I can't remember. Yes, it does. I think it's the Montgomery Canal. I found a few open spaces where I can fly fish for pike. I have done it before, and I did have some success with just the one jack pike. That was in February 2023, I think, maybe 2024. And I don't know whether I just dropped lucky on that, but yeah, that was good sport. And hopefully I might be able to film some of that. We'll see how we get on with that one. But they have woken up again now, the fish, so it's just a case of getting the fly near one. Oh, go on, have it. Try again. Yeah, they are feeding well under that tree now. Hopefully I can tempt them into this corner. I can cast better there without hanging the fly up the tree. Got him. Oh yeah. He's on the reel already. I think this is a good one as well. Might even be the same fish. No, this one's slightly smaller, I think. Oh, he's off, he's gone, and the fly has as well. Oh dear. Never mind. We're not all perfect. I'd give that one about 5. I think the knot's pulled. Yeah, the knot's pulled. Oh dear. This is what happens when you're tying things on with half frozen fingers. We'll put another fly on. I think we'll do okay. That fly might show up later and we might be able to get it back. I'm using barbless hooks, so hopefully it should just pop out. I might use a tucked blood knot this time. That's a new one. So basically I don't use any thread to make these, I literally just glue the foam to the hook. It's a shame that I waited a long time for that fish. I've only got so many of these flies as well until I can get back to the studio. So it's not ideal. I don't think that'll slip. Oh, they're still feeding, that's good. The wind's starting to pick up as it gets later. It's supposed to get warmer with it. We're going to have between 10 and 14 mile-an-hour winds. Ah, there he is. There's another fish there. I can see him. Now, if you're really clever, you can cast it into the bank and just pop it off the bank. Doesn't make any splash then. The bait presentation's a little bit more subtle. It's a little bit less like a depth charge going off. It's not very warm at all. I might be able to show you the weather report for today actually, so you know what it's like. It says it's 5 degrees at the moment. I don't think it is. It's got to get better as the day goes on. It's going to peak about 8 degrees. Hopefully you guys can see that. So it's improving. The main thing is it's not raining, fingers crossed. This fly I'm using is the final rendition. It's been, I can't remember how long it's been now, since how long I've been developing this particular pattern for now. It's been a long time. I think I've fished 3 summers with it, so it's been about, I don't know, 2.5 years. Started off with just foam, painted. Then the orange dot was probably the next addition to them. We went through several different colours of paint. Then I developed just cork, but we found that the cork was picking up a lot of water and it was eventually sinking. I don't know whether it was last February or the February before, I fished here with cork dog biscuits. They did okay, but like I say, they did sink. And then I developed a foam cord one to give it the extra buoyancy, and then dipped it into, oh there's a fish, I dipped it into cork sawdust. So you just get any old cork, it doesn't matter what it is, and use a Dremel with the sanding bit, and just Dremel away at it till you get a pile of dust big enough to stick in a pot. Slather super glue all over the foam and then dip it, and you end up with a very realistic looking dog kibble imitation. I've used a size 6 barbless hook primarily, proper carp hook. You could use a smaller hook if you wanted to, but I feel that the size 6 gives you the gape that you need, and it also gives you enough room on the shank for the fly to match the bait. The only problem we've found really with this particular pattern is that it slaps the water pretty hard and can spook a fish if you put it too close to it. And that's where the deer hair carp flies come into their own. Stocked trout fisheries are becoming a bit of a rarity, and the ones that are available to fish are getting more and more expensive as well, which is why I'm doing a lot of coarse fishing with a fly. So if you're wondering why I'm doing this, that's why, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view. I think this is the future of fly fishing in this country, especially as it starts to warm up. Rainbow trout don't do very well in temperatures that are 35 degrees, which our summers are getting to be more and more regularly. I mean, I could probably count about 5 trout fisheries that have closed that were local to this area. There used to be one at Knockin that got bought up and turned into a specimen carp lake. There was one at a chicken farm at Porthawine. That was where I pretty much learnt my trade, that one. It's called Vyrnwy. That one just closed due to disrepair and lack of interest from the owner. Valley Dam, it's still going, but I don't think he's really interested in running it. And that's at Llandrinio. Blackpool's Welsh pool, that's gone. Where else? There's one up in the hills above Myford, that's gone. Carno, which was my syndicate lake, that's gone, that's 6. So yeah, there's quite a few gone in there locally. I'm having to travel an hour and a half just to get some trout fishing in. And it's just not cheap either. I think the best place round here at the moment, I say round here, it's an hour and 15 away up the road, is Walgorch. That's a stock trout lake here near the village of Llandrinio, north of Mould, Denbighshire. So yeah, that's in a different county. I'd say the best fly fishing sport that's local for salmonids is the River Vyrnwy and the River Severn. But there's a lot of water that's been taken up by fly fishing societies or various syndicates, and you have to wait for somebody to die to be able to join one, or have a bank balance that's a lot bigger than mine. So it's getting to be quite difficult to find somewhere to fish with a fly. We might need to spot more bait in that corner. I've got the bait attached to my hip on a, oh hello, that's a good sign. I've got the bait attached to my hip using a belt mounted pouch, which is ideal. You don't have to take your eyes off the water, you don't have to recast, you can leave the fly where it is. Just reach down and lob some in. But that rise wasn't your usual slow, ponderous, sip down the biscuit and disappear sort of rise. That was a proper wallop, which is a good sign. That means the water's warming up slightly. Now this is quite an important thing to do. I found that if the leader sinks, the fish, especially in the summertime when they're milling around on the surface, the fish swim into the leader, and then your fly disappears and you instinctively strike, and it's something you shouldn't really do, but you're gonna, aren't you? So you end up foul hooking the fish, which is the worst thing possible in my opinion. So you want to try and avoid that if you can, and the best way to do that I've found is to keep the leader on the surface. And to do that, I just put some mucilin on it and run it through the sponge that comes with it to the end of the fly line as well. It won't hurt. And there you are, a good old product from Redditch, England. It's been going around for, well, I'll have to look that one up, but I think it's been going around for at least 100 years. And you might be able to see the leader on the surface now. That's better. I actually use it for dry fly fishing for trout as well. I just find it easier with the leader on the surface. Another good tip with the mucilin, if you want to fish a spider pattern or a wet fly pattern up in the water on a still water, I find that if you grease a section or the whole leader, depending on what you want to do, you can control the depth as well that your flies fish at. Me and Ken put that to good use at a lake called Headedness, which is not too far from Aberystwyth. They were feeding on adult midges that were caught in like a wind vortex off a point. We've got the wind at our backs, and the wind was coming round the point and sort of swirling in front of us like this. And I had a team of black magic spiders on, and I greased the leader up, keep them up in the water, and that was absolutely deadly. We had a really good day that day. Now it's really tempting during these quiet periods to chuck a load of bait in because you've got nothing else better to do. It's the worst thing you can do this time of year. There's plenty of bait in the swim there. Just leave it and just have some patience. A fish will come. You might be able to see my rod tip bouncing around. I'm actually shivering quite badly now. I don't know how much longer I can stick this out. Just trying to get that fly as close to the bank as possible where the bait is. I'll keep getting it up the bank. I've got some of the best outdoor clothing money can buy on, and I'm still freezing cold, so that's just goes to show how cold it is today here. There's a fish. There's a little bit to the left of him, that was, but he was going that way. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's had a look. He didn't take the dog biscuit then, he come up and had a look at it though. There's another one. Oh. I was just about to cast to it and another fish came up from my fly and I pulled it out of its mouth. What a plonker. Dear oh. You don't get many chances. Oh, that was a fish. There's one down here now as well. Let's leave that there a second first. I'd say there's 2, maybe 3 fish in this swim right now. Maybe more. I'm going to need some more bait now. Oh, he took the biscuit to right behind mine. Definitely seem to prefer coming up just there. I think I might cater to the fish's needs here. There's one. That's where my fly just was. Got him. It looks like it's a common. Not sure how big yet. It's hard to say. It's not the biggest common I've ever caught. He's in. We'll give him probably 5. Spat it out for me, thanks mate. There we are. £5 common carp. Looks like he's got a bit of crucian in him. But yeah, we have to wait a long time for that one. We've slipped him back nice and safe. He kept coming up in the same spot, so I just put the fly near him and he'd come up and had it sweet as a nut. So perfect. And I think it might be time for some lunch. Okay guys, well I've just had my lunch. The wind's changed direction and completely ruined the swim. The wind's blown it all out. It's going to be practically impossible to keep the fish all in one place now. So it's unfortunate. I'm cold as well, I'm shivering. So I'm going to call it a day there. Big thanks to Norman for letting me fish the place with the fly. And we've done okay. We've had we hooked 3, landed 2. Biggest was probably about 8. Really nice mirror that was. It was the first one we had earlier on. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.